Alright, Shalom. Call Allah Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who were well taught me this truth. And peace and blessing be to the hopeful elect. I'm the brother Yashar Gabar back at you again for another lesson. Lord willing, this lesson be edifying. Alright, through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. Alright. Now, let's see, we're going to jump straight into it. So, starting off the book of Matthew, chapter 19. Start at verse 29. It says, "And everyone that hath forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or fathers, or mother, or wife, or children, or land, for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold, and shall inherit everlasting life." All right. Yeah. So be willing to forsake, man. All right. Forsake family members. All right. Jobs. Things that you possess. All right. Be willing to forsake. All right. For you, how about Shemi outside, man? All right, for the Lord's name's sake, because a lot of people, that, know of this truth. All right, they may have heard brothers, understood. All right, wasn't willing to forsake a lot of these things that's here on this side, man. Even though we know, all right, the shit that's on this side can't amount to what the Lord has set for brothers, man. All right, those of you that endure. All right, so be willing to forsake, man. Jobs, careers, family members, because time's going to get rough, man. All right, it's going to get harder. All right, and you got to be willing to forsake, Let's go into this word forsake some more. All right. Now when you say forsake, all right, it's just not meaning, just saying, F someone, fuck you, fuck family, even though it's that in some cases, but, disrespectful type of way, It just meaning to abandon, all right? See what else? It's just, dropped, ditched, dumped. All right, it says leave behind. All right. It says turn one's back on, cast aside. All right. So yeah, got to be willing to cast aside, leave behind. All right, these family members that's of the world, especially because we know who the true family is. All right, Yahushua said, those who do the will of the Father. That's my brother. That's who my true family is, man. All right, you have to think the same way. You have to be the same way, man. These people that's of the world, family members, all right, they just, all right, kinfolks, man. They're, I forgot what the brother called it, but, yeah, but we know what the true family is, all right? It's the brotherhood, all right, ones that's doing the will, all right, the ones that's going to treat you accordingly, all right, to the commandments. Treat you with the true love, man. All right, that's your true family, all right? So in this family of the world on this side, man, all right, you're going to receive them back, all right? And that goes down to children, and all that shit. The scripture just said what? Shall receive 100-fold, all right? Shall receive 100-fold, all right? But you have to be willing to forsake. And that goes down to jobs, a lot of brothers that's in this truth, all right? Could have been doctors, lawyers, play sports, all right, but they forsake it, all right? You forsake, all right, for this truth, all right? You forsake for the Lord, whether it is what you had to put more time in, the things that you chased after when you was in the world, could have taken you away, all right, from this truth, all right? So that's forsaken, casting aside, leave it behind, all right? Because when it reads up, it speaks on what the rich, how it's hard for them to inherit the kingdom, because a lot of these people, that have money, and fame and glory on this side, not willing to forsake those things, man, and to have those riches on this side, billions of dollars, million. Hey, you pretty much, you have to be a fucking sellout, or be fucking wicked, all right, to receive those things, all right. No, and that's why the scripture said, well, it's hard. Let's just get it, all right. Let's see. Okay, Con, let's start at verse 26. So Matthew chapter 19, verse 26. It says, but Yahushua beheld them and said to them, with me this is impossible, but with Yahweh all things is possible. Then answered Peter and said to him, behold, we have forsaken. No, let's go up some more. All right, Con, verse 24. It says, and again I say unto you, it is easier for a camel to go through the eyes of a needle than for a rich man to enter to the kingdom of Yahweh. All right. Yeah, so that's how hard it is, for a rich man, to have all possess all these things, and be rich, all right, and enter into the kingdom of heaven, because they don't want to forsake, all right, those things. They don't want to put away those things, man. They're not willing to give up, all right, those riches, all right, to go and truly preach the gospel of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, all right, this word, it's out here, man. All right, this word, you'd be surprised, how many people know, all right, about this truth, and may truly believe, that was famous and rich, but they're not willing to, all right, forsake those things, man. They're not willing to forsake the way of living, all right, being comfortable, living how you want, all right, and still be under Esau. So they're not willing to forsake those things and go out and teach, all right, study and build with brothers and truly, get the knowledge of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, man. All right, so that's why it's hard, for a rich man, all right, to enter into the kingdom of heaven. All right, so moving on, let's see. All right, because the days is getting short, man. All right, and this is the main reason. All right, you got to be ready to forsake. All right. So let's get this. Matthew chapter 24, verse 22. It says, except those days be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days should be shortened. Yeah, so the time is speeding up, man. All right, the days is being shortened. We were just speaking on this, and you look up, it's month after month. All right, day after day. All right, and the times and the days is being shortened. All right, and you look at what's going on in the world, all this chaos, wars, famine, the MOTB, being coming forth. All right, you're seeing everything lined up. All right, that's how you know what the days is being shortened. All right, but the rest of the world, they don't see. All right, they don't see, that the time is short, man. All right, as the scripture said, the time is short, it's at hand. All right. So it says, except those days be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days should be shortened. All right, and we're seeing it. All right, the Lord is speeding up the time, man. All right, and things is going to get waxed worse and worse. At time, Jacob's trouble. All right, the hour of temptation, all right, things of that sort, man, is going to take forth, and you have to be willing, all right, to forget about, all right, this shit on this side, all right, family members, your child, your woman, because these are going to be the people that's going to give in, all right, they don't know what's going on, all right, so they're going to be quick, all right, to give in to Esau Edom system, all right, receive that MOTB, all right, to be able to buy, sell, still try to live how they was living, So, hey, man, and it says what? There shall no flesh be saved, all right, except those days be shortened. Because if this place was to keep going on and on, all right, hey, you people would be through. You people would be through, man. All right, and that's how serious it's going to get. All right. But the Lord has it planned out, to how He has it planned out, how He's going to bring things, bring forth things, man. All right. So let's see. Let's grab this Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. It says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth he have but a short time." Yeah, you see it, man. All right, this devil, he's coming down on the northern tribe, and what? And pretty much, the southern tribe going to get it worse. All right, but this devil, all right, he knows he have but a short time. All right, therefore, he's going to try to roll out whatever he needs to roll out. All right, and the Lord's going to put the spirit in him, all right, to what? Bring forth, that see him, start chipping you people, man. Coming down. All right, and whatever it is he got to do to usher in his new world order. All right, bring in that system how he wants to create it. All right. Because he know he have but a short time. The Lord is speeding up the time. So you have to be vigilant. All right, be aware, of what's going on. All right. This devil, he wants to get everyone sick. He wants to come down on the people, and do all type of shit. All right. The scripture says, he spake as a dragon. He wants to create laws, and do as he please. All right, but it's all Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. And that's who's going to keep you protected. All right, and guide your footsteps in the correct way. All right, those of you who truly believe, and willing, all right, to forsake, all right, the shit that's on this side, man. Because soon all this shit ain't gonna mean shit. All right, the car you're driving, the house, the job, all that shit, man. And you have to be ready to forsake those things. All right, when that time comes. All right, hour of temptation. All right, the MOTB. And this is something, I was meditating on, just thinking about. So I'm ending off with that, Lord willing. All right, this video is edifying. Giving all praises, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakodash. Give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Till next time, say shalom.